Meet Mark Larribus.
My name is Mark Larribus. I feel that I'm a pretty easygoing guy. Try to get along with circumstances as best as I can.
He's still a menace to society.
In the Sacramento criminal court, Mark Larribus was accused of assaulting and almost killing his girlfriend's 2.5-year-old daughter.
It's hard to remember. It's been quite a while ago about the incident itself with the child. But I remember her crying, and I was laying on the couch, and then all of a sudden it just really got to me. And I rushed in there, and I remember hitting her. But I don't know why. I could never pinpoint why. I mean, nobody just goes up to a child and starts beating on them for no reason like that. Even with my own daughter, if she cries, I try to ask her why she's crying. Or, since in a baby, you check them to see if they're wet or if they're hungry. But this time, it just really made me explode.
Mark Andrew Larribus, the man accused of molesting and almost killing a 2-year-old girl, was to have had a date set today for his preliminary hearing. But Larribus is in the University Medical Center, where doctors have discovered some sort of tumor or growth in his brain.
I first met Mark about 3 days after the assault. He had become depressed and even suicidal and was admitted to our hospital to the psychiatric unit. This allowed us to begin a diagnostic study of what might have caused the change in Mark's personality.
He couldn't understand how this act could have occurred, how he could have been responsible for this kind of behavior. And yet, as we reviewed his history, it was evident that he had been having more and more outbursts, and it had been more difficult for him to control his emotional responses to tense situations in the several weeks prior to his admission.
At first, he was very sweet, kind, and considerate, you know, just perfect gentleman, and then slowly but surely he would be getting upset all the time. It was just, it felt like 6 months, then 3 months, and then every month, every 2 weeks, every week, and then it was every day. So it was just kind of like a gradual change, but it just kept getting worse and worse.
I could never figure out about me losing my temper so quick. I could never understand it.
He'd walk in the door and just look at me and start throwing things all over the house, come at me and strike me.
I never thought about that I might have something wrong inside my brain.
We began a series of routine studies for conditions of this sort. One of those was an X-ray called a CAT scan. In this study, we were able to demonstrate the fact that there was a shadow here at the end of the temporal lobe on the right side. This kind of finding suggests a tumor. We couldn't be sure from the initial findings what kind of tumor this was, but its location and shape at this point suggested that it was a cyst. A cyst is like a balloon, and it slowly can fill with fluid over a period of years, increasing the pressure on the structures that are adjacent to the tumor itself.
The tumor was located in an area of the brain where pressure was being exerted through the amygdala against the hypothalamus, parts of the brain thought to be involved with aggression. 5 weeks after his arrest, Mark Larribus's tumor was surgically removed.
When I woke up from the anesthesia, everything seemed more real to me for some reason, that I could handle myself a lot better. The world seems a whole lot better for you.
He could control his temper so much better. I mean, I hadn't even seen him control it as good before as he did afterwards. And he was really willing to try to work things out between me and him.
I never thought it could be that good for me. As though, even though I was going through a criminal trial.
I'll catch you.
No!
Mark Larribus is now back with his family. His own daughter is nearly 5 years old, and his wife is expecting another child. Mark has resumed work with his former employer. Those closest to him have now relegated his violent behavior to the past.